It's the Speed to Dominate podcast, the podcast where coaches, parents, and other high-level industry professionals come to learn how to get their athletes faster so you can dominate your sport and do all things that you set your hands to do with all of your might, because he has made you to have dominion over the works of your hands. And while you're here, like, comment, and rate this podcast. Welcome to the Speed to Dominate podcast. I'm your host, Coach Harper. As always, I'm here, and I'm so glad that you're here, and I'm so glad that we have a chance to talk today, because today we are going to be talking about mechanics. Okay, so a lot of you are probably thinking about the question, like, what are mechanics? Like, I keep hearing you say this word, coach, and I kind of don't know what mechanics are. Or maybe you do know what mechanics are. So if you do know what this mechanics are, then this is probably not for you. But if you don't know what mechanics are, then this is for you. But if you do know still, actually keep listening, because you might learn something that you didn't know before. All right, so we're going to be talking about mechanics, like I said. And with mechanics, guys, these things are, the most important piece of speed, that I could say, man, that everybody needs mechanics. Unfortunately, what I've seen in the youth realm of sports, particularly in track, and that's very disturbing, that we don't really focus on the mechanics as much as we should. No, because I think a lot of it comes from some of the high school coaches coming down and coaching the youth. And when the high school coaches come down to coach the youth, they're pretty much more focused on, the working out and getting the workouts in and winning. And then when you have people who haven't coached before, but maybe they've run track or things like that, when they come in, they're focused in on the same things, working out and getting the right workouts and making sure that their kids are running faster. But what actually is the key that's going to unlock the door to the speed for your youth athlete, for your older athlete, for everybody, is the mechanics. Okay? So, like I said, we're going to be talking about the mechanics and what they are and how they should apply to us when we start to work with our youth athletes. All right. So, like I said, it really, really bothers me that youth sports, we're not teaching our youth athletes to sprint. We're not teaching them how to run properly. We're just getting them out there and we're just saying, run. Oh, this kid's fast. Oh, let's nurture their speed by giving them the ball more, or, things like that. And that's one of the reasons why I say, hey, guys, if you want your kid to excel, you need to get them some speed, because speed turns heads. And, the great Bear Bryant also said this, that luck follows speed. So if you have a lot of speed, then that's where the luck is going to follow. That's where your luck is going to follow. That's where things start to happen once you start getting faster, and not necessarily more skilled in your events or more skilled at your sport, but having the speed can trump the skill if you use it the correct way and you learn how to put it out there. So here's a story, guys, and like a lot of you probably have heard this story from me before, and you probably seen some stuff. If you got just a couple of emails from me, you probably heard this story before. But I'm gonna tell this story, and I probably already said it before as well. But I'm gonna tell this story, man. I just want to give you a quick, just overview of why mechanics are so important. All right, and then we're gonna get into the breaking down of mechanics and all that stuff in a second here. So, my daughter. All right, I know you guys are tired of hearing about Chloe. But like when she first started running track, right? I put her out there on the track. We went to a practice. I knew some coaches, and I was like, "Hey, coach, I think I want to throw my daughter in track right now, because her big brother plays football. He's been playing football for a couple of years. She's been going out there and she's been watching him, and she wants to be a part of something. And so I just knew that she had some ability." As far as jumping, I knew she had some jumping ability. I didn't know that she had some jumping ability, and I was like, man, I know my baby can jump, so I'm gonna take her down there and put her on the long jump. But before I do that, I just want to get her out there, get her on the team, get her to start running. Coach said, okay, bring her out. So I brought her out, and when she first started, man, she wasn't the fastest on the team, but she definitely wasn't the slowest. And, she was just trying to just get used to, running. And so what she would do is she would run, start off, kind of fast, and then she would slow down, and then when somebody rolled up on her, then she's like, oh, I got to pick up the speed, and then she starts picking up the speed because she wants to win. And I was like, baby, you can't do that. You have to run all the way through, okay? And so I'm trying not to coach, and let the other coaches coach, and do what they do. And so, they were out there, and, they start putting them through, the workouts, this workout, that workout, this workout, that workout. Oh, no, they don't need to do speed today. They need to do strength today, or they need to do speed today. And we've done a lot of strength, and we need to do speed. And it's like, first of all, are we coming to practice with a plan, or are we trying to come up with the plan at practice? But that's neither here nor there. But anyway, she started running, and we're going through these workouts, and I'm like, now granted, we do in the beginning, we do our sprint drills and all that stuff, just like a normal track team. It's like, well, nobody has really set her aside and said, hey, you're new. Let's literally concentrate on your form for the next, 5 or 6 days, or, for the first, 20 days. Let's really set you aside. I mean, you can do some of the workouts, but what I really want to do is get you together as far as your form. Her form was terrible, guys. Let me talk about, it wasn't super bad, but it was bad. So what I did was I just couldn't take it any longer. Like, I just could not take sitting there just watching. And I was like, I have to step in because I know what this baby needs. And I'd be remiss if I don't use my expertise with my own athlete, with my own daughter, right? So I started taking her aside. I said, okay, this is what we need to work on. Let's work on your stride. Let's work on your arm swing. Let's work on these things, okay? And so as we started to work on those things, her run style improved. And as we started to do that, guys, she got so much faster. She started to get so much faster. And in between the time when we were working with her when I was working with her on her form and her mechanics, I took her down to the long jump because I wanted to see, how she could long jump, if she could long jump. So took her down, let her jump, and boom, she just popped off. The first one, she popped off about 7, 8 feet. And I'm like, and so I'm measuring it with my feet. So I don't really believe it. I'm like, I don't believe, okay, I'm measuring this with my feet. I got a size 11 foot. So we're probably about 11 and a half, whatever. So I'm measuring my feet a little bit short. So she's probably really around 6, 7 feet, because I measured it about 8 feet. So I was like, okay, she's probably around 6, 7 feet. So that's probably not bad. Looked up in the rankings and see how that looked. And I was like, 7 feet. Oh, okay, 7 feet. She's in the mix. All right, okay. So she's not terrible. She's all right. She's in the mix. Not a problem. Took her back, let her jump again. Boom, popped off another 8 and a half. 8 and a half, okay? So now we're looking around 7 and a half, right? And so I'm like, okay, she's in the mix. No problem. So then what I had to do is I had to set her mark. And so for those of you who are listening who don't know what I'm talking about, setting the mark means where is she going to start from when she runs down the runway to jump, okay? So I set her mark at 39 feet from the jump board, all right, from the jump line for those people who don't understand. So I start her at 39 feet. She runs, she hits the board. Okay, cool. Over the next couple of weeks, we moved her back from 39 to 42. And by the time she got to the spring league championships, we had to move her all the way back to 51. And if we think about it, like that's a lot. That's considerably faster. Okay, that's considerably faster. You had to move from 39 to 51. That's considerably faster. So she got considerably faster in about 30 to 45 days of me just working with her and just really just having the time to spend on working on her mechanics. And from the very first meet that she jumped 8 feet. And everybody knows about sprint, and everybody knows that anything about long jumping is that you go further by going faster and also getting a little bit more lift, right? So those are the things we're working on. So we moved her back to 51. She comes down, she hits the board. She went from 8 feet to jumping 10'9", almost 11 feet. So checking the statistics after that, I'm looking at her mark as opposed to all the other marks in the country at 7 years old, and she had the second best jump in the country, right? So that put her number 2 in the country. So I'm like, okay, we're going to nationals because we're going to go out here and we're going to go get this gold in the nationals. But we didn't end up going to nationals, so that's another story. But my point here is that if we had not sat down and worked with her the mechanics and we just kept putting her on the runway and say, run down, baby, she would not have been able to reach the point where she got to, because we didn't focus on the mechanics. So what are mechanics? Mechanics are those things that you do to run properly. Okay? Running properly. The arm swing, that's mechanics. The knee drive, all right? That's mechanics. Body position, foot placement. Those are all mechanics. I'm telling you guys, when you start working on the mechanics and you fix the mechanics, your kid or your youth athlete will begin to unlock the speed that they already have that they don't know they have, right? Once you start doing that, they get to 3x to 4x faster almost immediately. So you have to work on the mechanics, the arm swing, the knee drive, the foot placement, the body position. Once we start doing those things, right? And so we're going to talk about those 4 things in another episode that's coming up. It's probably going to be the next one, the next episode. We're going to be talking about those 4 things, those 4 mistakes that your kids are making that's keeping them from running faster. We're going to talk about those, and I'm going to tell you what those are. We kind of touched on them, so if you kind of listen to me, you probably know what they are already. But we're going to talk about them in depth, in detail, what to do, and we're going to get you all the way together. So that's the importance of mechanics, guys. Like you have to sit down and you have to figure out a plan on how you're going to fix the mechanics. Now, fixing the mechanics can be easy at times if you have a kid who understands. And if we don't understand what the mechanics are and how they work inside of the sprint, then we're not going to be able to convey that message to them. And like I said, I've been doing this for 14 years, guys. And over my 14 years of coaching track and field, guys, I've got it down to a science. And that's why I created the Speed to Dominate program. And inside of that Speed to Dominate program, the very first 30 days inside of this program, it's a 12-week program, but in the first 30 days of this program, guys, I teach the heck, I'm going to say heck, out of mechanics. And your youth athlete is going to get faster in the first 30 days or less. Why? Because I have created a formula, and I call it the Harper method, right? And inside the Harper method, that is the method that I've been using for the last 14 years to get these kids to learn how to run properly. You can't go faster until you learn how to run properly. Once you learn how to run properly, you're going to unlock speed that you did not know you had, right? The kids are going to unlock speed that they didn't know they had. Youth athletes, your teenage athletes, even up to college, right? Some of them still are not running properly. And once you teach them how to run properly, they're going to unlock the new level of speed that they never knew they had, man. And it's so amazing to watch. It's so like cool to watch these kids just like really just come into their own with and seeing them just get faster. They even surprise themselves. Like they literally surprise themselves when they see how much faster they have gone. And they're like, yo, I didn't really, like we changed a few things here and there, but like I didn't like go lift any weights or I didn't do anything special that would have made me go this much faster, right? Like I've had a kid go 6 seconds faster. I've had kids in 3 weeks go 4 seconds faster where they previously hadn't gone that speed at all. We helped the girl reach her goal for the season in 3 weeks when she's been trying to do it the whole entire season. And this method, the Speed to Dominate program, is one that, man, you guys should definitely take advantage of. All right. So here's what I want to do. This is what I want to do. I want to show you how you can get your young athlete to run faster, and you don't even have to leave your backyard for this, guys. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So I've created a video. All you have to do is go to www.speedtodominate.com. Give me your best email address, and I'll send it right to your inbox. You get free access to this case study. I go a little bit more in depth on how I got my daughter to do that, and I break down step by step how I actually did it with her, and I'm going to give you the steps so that you can implement it with your people. And then, if you get the information and you would like for me to help you implement it, and you want to know more, you want to get a personalized plan, then you can go ahead and schedule a call with me. And there'll be a link down in the description for that as well. So you can schedule a call with me, and I will show you step by step. I'll give you a personalized plan for you and your athlete, so you guys can do that. This is absolutely free. You can hop on a call with me. We'll talk about that. And then again, if you would like me to help you implement that program, then I'll help you implement it. If not, that's fine. You can have somebody else help you implement it, or you can just do it on your own, do the research on your own. It's totally up to you. It's no problem. I just love to help you guys get to where you're trying to go. So with that being said, remember, everything that you do today affects your future. And so remember, tomorrow, I'm Coach Harper, and I will see you next time.